Hi, this is Pastor Rosemary, and this is Pastor Rosemary's Final Prophecy Watch. I've figured out, because I've lived in Hawaii a very long time, that there's at least one day I know by clockwork is something that they call here Kill Haole Day and Slap a Jap Day. Those are horrible things to say, but that's what the locals call it here. The non-whites call it Kill Haole Day, meaning they're gonna, people like me, and Slap a Jap Day. I'm married to a half Japanese man, and we have a Japanese last name, so that's something that affects me. And this is Thanksgiving is one of those days, and they do it in the morning. They kind of come and they harass you in ways they think they can get away with, like they'll, park their car on your lawn and come up and try to sell you something, and they won't leave when you tell them to get off your property. And just non-whites and non-Japanese people will do that. Also, there's Devil's Night, and on Devil's Night is June 6th. It happened. I didn't know before today that Devil's Night was one of these days, because I knew it happened on Thanksgiving, but I didn't know there was another for sure holiday when it happens. When we get harassed, they don't harass anybody else in the neighborhood that's that's not Japanese or white woman. It's a white woman with a half Japanese man. They pick on you. The white men with the local girlfriends will pick on us, and they say that they're not racist because they have a local girlfriend, and that I'm racist even though I have a half Japanese German husband. I have curly hair, so they don't like me. I'm Italian, they don't like me. I'm the kind of person, because it's when you're a white woman with a man of color, if you're not blonde, if you're of Southern European extraction, you get picked on by blondes with local friends. That's the way it works. They don't pick on the local families. They don't pick on the Mexican families. They don't pick on Japanese women with white men. They pick on white women with Japanese men or local men of some kind, but mostly Japanese men. So, it's called Kill Haole Day and Slap a Jap Day, and I know for sure Thanksgiving is the day where we have to get up early, because they come and they really lay it on thick. And so we've installed a lot of cam. You notice I have a body cam on, and I got my phone. But I did get dressed this morning. I put my shorts on, my nice shorts and my nice top, so that I would be ready. I put a little bit of makeup on so I'd be ready. But I didn't know before, but I figured out that June 6th is another Kill Haole Day and Slap a Jap Day. It's another one. And this is going to be mixing with, these days probably, you ever see that movie, The Addams Family, where they have that thing about you stole our land, and they have the Indians attacking the white people, and like they're allowed to do that because white people deserve to be hurt. So what happens is the white people that look like blondes, they make friends with the people of color, and then they pick on Southern Europeans with curly hair that are small. We're smaller. We're not as big as they are physically. So we get ganged up on because, it's obvious the reason why is because we're physically smaller. If we were both two giant African American people, they wouldn't bother us, obviously. But because we're small and we're not popular races, they pick on us. It's just a reason to bully people. That's all it is. So now I'm going to just let you know that June 6th is another day that in Hawaii is called Kill Haole Day and Slap a Jap Day. I didn't make those terms up. You can look it up. It's on Wikipedia. I didn't make it up. I've been hearing about it since I've been here. Everywhere you go, they talk about it in Bible study. And they talked about it in schools. They talk about it at work. They talk about it in order to, they keep you, it's like a constant terroristic threatening to you. When I'm around blonde people, they tell me I'm not white because Italians are light brown. And when I'm around locals, they tell me I'm white. So no matter where I go, I don't fit. When I go to the mall, the big local girls hit into me with their shoulder. I'm walking with my husband to show him that they should be with him instead of me. When we go to, Subway, they won't serve us food. They just turn their back to us. They won't serve us. They serve the big locals, and they serve the tall blondes with the local boyfriends, but they won't serve us because we're older too. I'm 64 years old and I have curly hair, so they make it a point, to show you that they don't like you. So now they're trying to bully me out of my front yard because they want me to pay them to do my yard work, but they've already taken everything I have. They took everything. This kind of movements have taken everything we have. They took our houses in Inglewood. They took our jobs. These kind of movements, these left-wing movements, and now they're trying to kick me out of my own front yard. But I have everything on film that happens in my neighborhood from these specific people that I can prove everything I'm saying. So I'm letting everybody know that this is a day when you should be concerned, especially if you live in Hawaii, and it might be something that's everywhere now because Kill Halliday and Slap a Japte have kind of joined forces with some of these other movements in the mainland. And I know for sure that Devil's Night, June 6th, is one of them. And I know for sure that Thanksgiving is one of them. Now, because I'm telling everybody, they might move it, but I'm staying alert to it, and I keep you informed. Thanks for listening. Stay responsible, because if you're the responsible one, you have cameras around our house. I have my camera phone. I have my body cam. If you stay responsible, I don't need a weapon. I just have to be the one who was prepared. I'm always prepared. And I try to behave in a responsible manner, because I heard that if you're responsible, the cops will take the side of the person who's most responsible. That's been my experience. The police officers will take the side of the person who's being most responsible. Calling the police in this kind of trivial matters doesn't usually work very well, but the best thing to do is just make a police report if it's real bad. If it's not too bad, like today, it could have got bad, but because I went out and I said, stay away from our house. They had a kid sitting in front of my house, a kid that wasn't old enough to drive a car, sitting in front of my house, a blonde kid, sitting in front of my house, revving his engine in front of my car, letting the smoke go into my house, and the dog that they keep having do his business in my yard, and they don't pick anything up, and even when they do, there's still urine in your yard, and they don't pick up the droppings anyway. So they were trying to get on my goat. They had a local girl and her white boyfriend doing that to me. And then they had a local mother with a blonde kid, and the local mother, it was her car, but she put her kid in the car and didn't want me to talk to him and tell him to get away from my house. But I have it all on film. So that's why I feel that I'm responsible, and that's why they moved their car, and they tried to say have a nice day, and they complied, but they had everybody, like 8 people against me, and my husband was at Costco, so he didn't get to see it, but I have the film I could show him. They listen to him a little more than me. When he's not here, they treat me worse than when he is here, but I still have to be able to defend myself. But the cameras do a world of good. We got cameras around our house, and that helps with the police, and it helps with people that are trying to get you in trouble. They want to make you wrong because they want to take something from you. All the people that say you owe them, you probably don't. They owe you. So document everything, because it says in the Talmud, I have a Talmud actually, it says in the Talmud that the way to be able to get away with anything legally, to get people to give you money and get away with any kind of crime you want to, is to make it that your group has an enemy. So you just say that your people have been constantly, hurt by these other people. That's all you have to do. It's in the Talmud. They're taught how to do that. We're not taught how to do that. Catholics, we're taught how to say you're sorry and think that you're the one that's responsible for everything, and to give to the poor. And so it's a setup. I have been stripped of everything I own because of this. So it's time to read the Talmud and get smart and use the law, because if you don't, it'll use you. And the people that are smart will use it against you. So when they see you're just as smart as them, then they'll stop. Okay, so this is Pastor Rosemary's Final Prophecy. Watch, and you stay responsible.